Let's try that again. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's show. I'm your host, Tina Dawson, owner of True Blue Designs, and thank you so much for tuning in. I was trying to cue my music so that we could party in the beginning, but we are celebrating 14 years of being in business, and this is our anniversary month. And so we have comedians that have stopped by to celebrate with us. Please like and share and let everyone know that we are on the air. We are streaming simultaneously on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel at True Blue Designs. Also, I'm going to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the notification bell so that you can be alerted when more content becomes available. Now, the Greek Comedy Tour comedians are stopping by this month to help us celebrate 14 years of business. Part 3 of our anniversary celebration introduces you to tonight's guest. He is an educator, comedian, radio personality, and speaker who uses his many talents to empower and inspire people to find the humor and greatness that is within. Please help us give a warm welcome to tonight's guest, comedian Cornelius George. Hey, you.
How are you doing?
I am doing great. How are you?
I am great, man. Thank you for having me on the anniversary show. 14
Yes.
years.
We turned 14 years this month.
Hey, you know, the 14, I love the number 14. 1914, love 14.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How's the family? How's everybody doing?
Everybody's good. You know, I'm in the middle of being dad right now, you know, taking her to an event. Now we got to go to grab her something to eat right quick. So we're doing all this together.
Okay, that's fine.
Multi-talented people.
Hey, that's right. Multi-talented parents. I totally understand that. I've been there, done that. So that's fine. We'll make it do what it do.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna let you start off, Cornelius, by telling the viewers about yourself.
Okay. First I want to start off that I'm from that big metropolitan city of Carrollton, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know I'm home of Carrollton, Georgia, home of the Trojans, home of West Georgia. Yeah. I love it. I'm really from another small town that people don't really know about. The first town I really claim all the time is called Tallapoosa. If you don't know what Tallapoosa is, it's exit 1 going I-20 West. You'll miss it. You'll miss it. It's Tallapoosa. It's small. It's small, but I love being from small towns because small town people make big town people look better.
That's right. That's right. So you went to West Georgia, and how did you get into the field of educator?
I come from I'm the 4th generation educator.
Oh, okay.
And West Georgia was one of my many stops in colleges. My first, I did a lot of tours. Like most people do tours in military, I was just touring different colleges. I went to 6 undergrad colleges before I graduated.
Really?
Yeah. I was having fun, man. Listen, they gave me a credit card and they told me I ain't got to pay back and get a job. I was like, well, I don't want no job yet. I ain't ready to grow up. I was like the Toys R Us kid. I'm just partying and having a good time. And so I got an education, man, because it's been in my family for a long time. And I enjoy working with kids and I enjoy watching people learn and grow.
Right.
So I got into the field. I was planning to stay about 5 years and then go do something else. But I guess the man upstairs had another story. So I've been in it almost 20 years.
Wow.
Well, I was right because I don't think I'm that smart. If I was going somewhere where the money was. Yeah, don't follow your heart, follow the check.
You said don't follow your heart, follow the check.
Don't follow the heart, follow your check. That's what you need to follow.
So So you're a member of Phi Beta Sigma. Did you come through New Phi?
Nah, I hung out with New Phi. New Phi claimed me. I came through Clayton State, Tri
Oh,
Beta.
Tri Beta. Okay. Yeah, I know about Tri Beta.
How you doing? Can I get a name for the order?
George.
Look at everybody. He had to drive through.
Oh, y'all better drive through right now. Let me get the nugget meal and the number one. So milkshake and lemonade. You see how we do?
Yeah.
Any sauce?
What's sauce? Polynesian and ranch.
Your total is going to be $20.80.
You keep asking questions because I'm ready. I'm. She's just taking my money from me.
Okay. So by you being in the school system and you being an educator, can you kind of explain or tell us some of the things that you see? Because we see a lot of the shootings on TV, and the stuff that happened at Heritage High Schools, but between the teacher and the student. What are some of the things that you see, especially with our Black males in the school system?
You see all of that in education. The part that they don't show you is that there are quite a few of our students that are actually there trying to learn and that will listen and are going to go on to do some great things because they see beyond where they are. And I think that's one of the things that we want our kids to understand is you have to see beyond where you are. You have to see beyond the traps of social media where they want you to glorify all the violence and stuff for likes and fames and going viral. So
Right.
we have to see beyond that. You have quite a few of them now that you might be calling them lame, but they're not lame. They're not lame. They the guys who go into class doing their work and they still having fun. They just doing it all in the way that we should be having. Like we were, we had fun. You have kids like we were, had fun, but knew how to balance the two.
Right.
Probably
Yeah.
we got quite people that don't know how to balance the two. They're on the balance like class work and having fun work. Nah, they don't know how to balance. They just want to do all fun work.
Right. Yeah. And that road gets you into trouble.
Oh yeah, all day because you're not developing your critical thinking skills.
Right. And also the other children that you were just describing, the ones that are doing their work and doing what we're supposed to do, those students are not spotlighted. With the news media is always the negative, which I totally understand that's what they do. But, it's good to know that, and I'm glad that we mentioned it, that there are some students out there, doing what they're supposed to do. And I would like to say that that's the majority of them. It's just a handful of knuckleheads that are, getting the spotlight.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's the few that are getting the whole spotlight. You have a lot of them, and they're not all straight A students. They A, B, C range, and they handling their business. They handling they're soaking it up. They might not come out with the A grade, but they learning just as much as the A student.
Right.
So and those are the kids that I like to highlight. Because what I've done this year just alone is I've taken a few of my students to Uptown Comedy Corner to do improv.
Really?
One day a week, I teach them improv, and then in December we did a show. I like, hey, y'all want to know what I do all day? What I do for fun? Here it is. Y'all want to see the work involved? They got a chance to experience it, the middle school students.
Oh wow!
And what's even better than that, I had one of my shy students who was a part of the improv troupe wanted to do stand up. So what I took him to perform a show with me, a clean show, and he killed it. He put the work in. At 14 years old, the kid put the work in. He practiced. He did everything I told him to do. He's just quiet and shy. And I want to try it. I'm like, well, you want to try it? It's my job to support you to try it.
Right.
And we didn't tell all this. We ain't gonna be nice to you. We gonna treat you just like everybody else. If you bum, we gonna treat you like you bum. You want real world experience. You do terrible, we gonna tell you did terrible. But he put the work in, man, and he believed in what we were talking about. So he did well. And now his family believes in it more, man. Just their level of confidence in him and everybody else in their family. Well, I can go after my dream. That right there alone was was praise enough for me.
Yeah, and you gave him exposure. So let's talk about that. You know, how important it is to give our children a variety of different exposures, to let them experience the different things that the world has to offer, so that they are well-rounded individuals.
Oh, I think it's key. You must, George. George. Yes, I think you must give your kids exposure to everything. If they want to do it, you should expose them to try it, and at least to complete it that one term. That one term to complete it. Because don't just expose it to them. Let them immerse in it and be real with them, because the world is going to chew them up anyway.
Right.
The world is not going to be nice out there. Oh, we're a kid. We're going to do. No, it ain't going to be all that. They're going to treat you like you are. I tell my students all the time, there are several kids that are children actors that get treated like grown folk on the set.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to put this work in. Don't think somebody's gonna give you 25 breaks and chances to do mediocre work.
Right.
No, if I'm gonna expose you to it. I ain't saying be mean to them, but
Right.
no, this is the reality. This is the reality. If you don't work, you're gonna get this is the product you're gonna get. You ain't gonna tell anybody you want to do it, you ain't putting no work in.
Right. And so they get to see the behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, my own kids, my son, from the age of 5 to the age of 14, 15, all he talked about was George Washington Carver, and he wanted to be an engineer or an architect. This kid, so we sent him to Georgia Tech camps, every type of camp, coding. Then one day in high school, he told me, I think I want to be a journalism or a writer. Wait a minute, we don't spend all this daggone money. What you mean? What you mean you want to do this? But he's able to critically think about his own skills now. So that's the part we look at. Like, hey, I was mad at first. I was
Right.
hot. I said, bro, I spent $25,000 for you to go to all these camps all these years. Now you tell me you don't want to be one?
Right.
You know, you're expand, but he's been exposed to everything. So he's had a plethora of options to choose from. And I think more kids need that. Just so they can stop thinking, I want to be a doctor, lawyer. You know, it's more choices out there than just those 2 or 3 we see.
Right. Right. And you know, you and I were talking about STEM and AI earlier before we got on the show. You know, I call them the hidden money makers. You know, the things that are not really being talked about, and the things that are not out front, in front of your face. You know, I think one of my daughter's intake sisters is a biomedical something. I can't even pronounce. And I was like, what in the world? Something I've never heard of is STEM. But you know, the starting pay that they're looking to make is like, wow, in these fields. But again, it's fields that are not, you know, frequently talked about.
Yeah, I think one thing that we could do a lot when we talk about STEM and STEM careers is tell kids to use your imagination. When you get to a certain age, they stop telling you use your imagination. Your parents tell you all the time, stop living in the cloud. No, you need to live in the cloud. That's why we got a cell phone with a computer in it and cameras and all this other stuff on your phone, because somebody lived in the clouds.
Right. That's
So
true.
we should always encourage our kids and everybody else. No, use your imagination, because that's where you're going to find the next generation of jobs and everything else is in your imagination. We didn't think growing up we would see an electric car.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't think I would see an electric car. I would see one. Like somebody, there's a car you can plug into the wall. We didn't ever think that was coming.
Yeah.
But it's here. Now you got to talk about AI. The only AI I knew was Allen Iverson. I didn't know anything else. I didn't know AI. I didn't know AI is all over the place. Like, Allen Iverson coming back. I didn't know he's coming back. You know, I know he's a good player. Yeah, AI. That's it. That's the only thing I knew.
Yeah, I forgot that.
AI.
Yeah.
That's it. So we got to make sure we are training them up to think, and that's all it is. It's to think. Think outside the box. It's okay.
Yeah.
You ain't got to think like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Be the creators. Use your imagination. And when you're in school, take that lesson and see how you can flip it to what you needed to be. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's it. I mean,
because critical thinking skills within our children is so important. It
oh
is
yeah.
so. You've got to be able to have that. You got to be able to master the critical thinking skills to be able
I
really
mean,
to be able to make it.
have you ever been in a situation like in a restaurant somewhere and you saw somebody and you like, I think they got an IEP in school, you know what I'm saying? They was in the slow class because of how they talk, and you go, wait a minute, we can't be friends because my friends think better than that. You ain't thought that through at all.
Uh-huh.
A lot of my friends are that way. I used to hang out with them. I'm like, I need a better friend that can think better because
Yeah.
if my friend think better, I'm gonna think better.
Right. You can't be the smartest one in the room.
No, not me. I choose not to be the smartest one in the room. If I'm the smartest one in the room, I'm in the wrong room.
Yep. Yeah. And you know what? That is so true. I've heard that, and it is so true because you're not stretched. You can't grow if there's not someone in the room that's smarter than you. So you become stagnant.
Yeah, you become the person that is purely that way. That only stagnant. You don't want you you don't want everybody to come to, and that's a lonely life. I don't want to be the one everybody come to.
Right. So let's talk
It's like,
about your so let's talk
go
about your journey to comedy. How did you get into being a comedian?
I've always been funny my entire life, but I got into it because I was telling my students one day, how you can pursue your dream, be what you want to be. And so they say, well, why don't you go and try comedy? Because you've been talking about it forever. So I go and try comedy my first time, and it was with Griff, Rodney Perry, Bone Hampton, and L.O. Lorenz Owens. And I get up and do 3 minutes, and nobody laughed. I mean, they didn't crack a smile. I went outside of my car, and I'm about ready to cry, man. And Rodney and them tell me, say, man, you good. I'm like, did y'all hear this? Nobody laughed. You just got to work a little bit. I'm like, man, you crazy. To work that next day and tell my students that I tried it. And I'm like, well, I'm good. I ain't cracking my bucket. They like, oh, so you going to give up like that? I go, you're right. I ain't going to give up. So then I go, so I go back again, and nobody laughed the second time. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to do this no more. And so then Griff asked me to open up for him for one of the Gospel Fest tour dates in Atlanta. I'm like, okay, I will. I give you my word. And I go home and actually pick up a book about comedy, and I learned about the process and the stages of it, you know what I'm saying, how to write. And I read that book and I applied it. So by that time that third week came around, I went out in front of 1,000 people and killed it.
Wow.
And I love it. I love the applause. I love the rush of it, but I also love the bombing of it because that let me know if I really wanted to do it or not. I could have quit and be like, yeah, I still want to quit days like this. It's still days you get at the end of it, but and it's everything else. And it's not just being funny. It is a whole process to it. It is a skill set that people can develop.
Right.
And I love it.
Right. So do you write your own jokes?
Yes.
People
Yes.
have
If you don't write your own jokes, if you don't write your own jokes, you're a joke thief. And I'm not, and I'm too big and slow to be a joke thief because I ain't running for nobody. I'm not doing that. So I can't be a joke thief. And I don't make enough money to pay nobody to write for me yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm writing my own material, man. I write. I'm a creative person, so I write based on my life, or I write based on something that I think.
Right.
And like, this is the crazy thing. Let me write it and put it into action. And comedy has allowed me to open up other doors of laugh your class off, has allowed me to teach my students better, where I use laughter in the classroom. It has allowed me to go to trainings to train other teachers how to bring humor to their classroom, all because I took a chance on following the dream of comedy.
Wow. So let's talk about your project, Laugh Your Class Off. Let's talk about how that came about.
Laugh Your Class Off came about because as a teacher, I saw how stressed teachers are in the field. And I was like, I want to do something. So I started doing a monthly comedy show for teachers for free. And we would be at a local bar or some spot, and we eventually end up at Uptown once a month. and letting teachers come in to relieve stress. It was just our way of saying, hey, I know you're stressed out. I can't pay you, but we can give you a place to come laugh, and the businesses support educators. So let's put them together. So we start doing that. We laugh your class off. And from there, we start doing like churches, we start doing conferences, and we start doing workshops where we teach teachers how to use comedy and improv. So it has grown to that. Now it's grown to where we're making short films for schools. We have won Film of the Year twice for our anti-bullying video. Yeah, so we're doing things in education that people never thought about that could happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Going, wow, that's innovative, that's new. No, they're just us using our imagination and not taking no for an answer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah, I read that in your bio. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So you all had to submit. You submitted the film to the organization, and then they voted on it.
Yeah, we submitted it. The first time we submitted, no one knew about them. We didn't know about here in the South. You know, we just heard of it. But we submitted to PBIS, which is Positive Behavior Intervention System. It's one of the biggest organizations across the world for positive behavior in school systems. So we submitted to them the first year, and they take the top 10 videos and they let people vote on them. And we had 2 videos nominated that year. So we beat ourselves. which was funny, because they like, y'all gonna win either way because the top 2 are between you. And so the next year I submitted 2 more videos and 2 different videos. And again, we were up to beat ourselves.
Wow.
So we beat ourselves twice. And after that, I said, I'm not gonna submit any more videos because we've done this. And I was selected to be on the selection committee. You know what I'm saying? So now there's other schools in the South that are taking over, that are taking what we started and just really killing it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really proud of that.
Discuss a little bit about the Celebrity Educators Award.
That was my first one, and that's one that's very dear. It's an organization out of Florida that really pays attention to what's on social media and in the community and what people are doing. And so they heard about me, what I was doing with teachers, the comedy show, the workshops that people don't pay attention to a lot of the time that people are posting on social media. And they were paying attention to it. And they were like, teachers are celebrities. So they nominated me, and I won Celebrity Educator Award. Wow. And I was like, hey, small town boy from Carrollton, Tallapoosa, man, doing things.
Yeah, great things come out of small towns.
This the boy who went to 6 undergrad colleges now. I mean, just really, you know how hard it is for me to choose what homecoming I'm going to every year? Because I know somebody out of this school. Listen, I was like, wow, this small town boy who went to all these schools doing all these big things, man.
Wow. Well, congratulations on that also.
Thank you.
In your bio, you speak about being a radio personality. Let's talk about your journey to that.
That started first off because Laugh Your Class Off, we had a radio show where we would invite different people from the community.
Did he freeze? If you're just tuning in, okay, there he is.
We started doing.
Can you hear me? I think you froze. Cornelius.
All right, yeah, I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So we started doing class up. I joined Kiss Radio Show, which was awesome, phenomenal. It's my boy or core DJ Hershey invited me on and being on the show. We did that for a while, and now Kiss Radio Show with myself, core DJ Hershey, Mo Diva, and Sister Cypher. We are the morning show on FUBU Radio.
Oh wow! Okay.
Hey, which is really cool because FUBU Radio, it's the same owners of FUBU, One of them owns Fubu Radio, Keith Perrin. And
Okay.
Keith Perrin is a Sigma.
Really?
Yeah, one of the owners of Fubu is a Sigma.
Didn't know that. You
Yeah,
just
so you
dropped
got
it.
to cause Keith Perrin, a frat, is doing this thing with Fubu Radio, and it's all amazing.
Wow, didn't know that. Keith Perry.
Yeah, Keith Perrin, go check him out, Fubu Radio. So we are the morning show on there.
Wow. So where did you meet Chris with the Greek comedy tour?
Me and Chris met on the comedy scene.
Really?
Yeah, me and Chris met on the comedy scene, man, and we were both we was at a spot, one of the Griff spot again, and was killing, man, and we just became friends and had a conversation. And I remember him talking about, hey man, there's nobody really doing anything for Greeks. You know what I'm saying? Cause Greeks do all these service organizations, and it was a plan. I was like, hey, okay, cool. You should do it. Cause I can't do it. Cause I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I'm trying to do 25 other things. I ain't paying attention to one. And
Yeah.
next thing I know, Chris has blown this completely out the water.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, just the number of people that are in comedy that are Greek. You know what I'm saying? That people that I didn't know, like, wow, that's Greek, that's frat, man, and it's just that camaraderie because everybody had, no matter what the organization, you still had a heart for service. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what your nine is, every last one of them, you have something for service, man. And to see people be able to serve through laughter, I love it. I mean that's just so Chris, my dog, man. Not only is he blue, but Chris is one of my good friends.
Yeah, and it's good to be able to see a comedy show and it's different organizations getting together for one common purpose. So, you know, I've always enjoyed him. Every time I've seen him do the Greek comedy tour, bring the comedians on, you know, I've always enjoyed it.
All right, man. I'm a fan of comedy, and every time he do one, I'm like, hey, bro, I'm just coming to watch.
Right.
Because it's hilarious to see comedians that you never knew. You meet, you go, hey, man, they are hilarious. So your fan base is big, and you become new fans of new people.
Right.
You know, and they're all accessible. It's not like, you know, they're standoffish. You like, you can actually go up and get their number, and they, oh yeah, man, let's chat it up.
Yeah.
Really, man, I can talk to Steve Brown like that. I mean, come on, man, you've been on, you know, you Steve Brown. No, man, I'm just Steve. You know, I mean, so yeah.
Yeah, I've had him on the show, Kelly Kales, Ron G, Burpee. I'm trying to think who else have I had on the show. But yeah, they, you know, every year he reaches out to a set of comedians and they're just so open to come on the show and talk about their life and their journey. And to really be able to share it. I really appreciate it. So just like I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Oh man, this is like I told you before, man, this is free therapy. So Blue Cross Blue Shield, y'all ain't getting that money just yet. So I'm saving it this month for my free therapy.
I got you. So listen, when we had Steve Brown on the show, he talked about an incident that happened when he was on stage. Have you ever had an incident that happened while you were on stage? And if not, how do you handle heckling when you have people that are in the audience trying to take over your spot?
I didn't have an incident like Steve Brown had because I know I run first. Like I'm avoiding that at all costs. The closest thing I had to an incident was I was at a show in Savannah, and I forgot the comic's name, and him and the heckler was getting into it. You know what I'm saying? He was getting the best of the heckler. And at the end of the show, the heckler tried to choke him with a speaker wire.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I remember that. And I was like, wow, okay. And the person I rode with, they were like, hey, I want you to all remember one thing, young blood. I was like, what? Now, he called me young blood, and he's just 5 years older than me. So I was like, we're in the same age bracket. But he's an OG in the game. He's a young blood. I want you to remember something. People like to be laughed with, not at. You know what I'm saying? And so in some situations you can't get out of it because some people come into comedy club like they think they're gonna make what you do funnier.
Right.
Like I'm just here to help you out. Like, no, you're not, because I spent hours working on my material. I spent hours working on how to say the joke, how to
crafted everything else. So you're not helping me out. You're not going to use me to shine. So I think a lot of times you can shut it down. Like I can do the roasting with everybody. I teach school, so I get to roast every day. I get to roast kids, parents every day. So we go at it. But I try to avoid it as much as possible. But if you can't avoid it, hey, say your jokes and run.
Right, right. So, what is your most memorable moment in your career so far? Whether it's teaching or comedian, what is your most memorable moment?
I think my most memorable moment was uh, my best friend Bookie. Bookie was my biggest supporter, man, and my best friend, and we grew up together. And Bookie ended up passing,
Okay,
and
sorry.
I remember, saying after the funeral the next day, I go side. Hold on, I go to the comedy club. It was uptown, and I was asked to host for the weekend for George Wallace and J. Anthony Brown.
Oh, wow.
And to see two men that I admired since I was a kid, like I knew George Wallace's stand-up special backwards and forwards, and I knew
Wow.
J. Anthony Brown stuff. But to do those shows and for them to sit there and talk and laugh and give me game, and to when my mom came to see me, she's a fan of both of them. For them to
Uh-huh.
give her a hug and like, hey, you raised a good son. That right there is
Yeah.
the top memory of everything else. There's nothing else the birth of my kids close. the, the birth of all my kids close, but that is my top comedy memory right there. Just to see the acceptance by two OGs that you admire your life, and for them to tell my mom, your son is funny and you raised a good son.
That is awesome. Yeah, like you said, those are some two OGs that we grew up listening to.
Oh yeah, I love it, and I could call them now and text back and forth and shoot ideas off of them, man. So yeah, that for me, that was it.
Yeah. Is there any topic that you won't joke about?
There's not a topic I won't joke about. It might not be the setting, but I joke. It's
Right.
everything. Everything is on limits. There's nothing off limits. Like, just got to know how to say the joke and where to tell it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And there's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah. There really is a time place, but there is not a joke like special needs people, because I have them in my family. I joke.
You froze.
So whether it is, there's nothing I won't do.
You
Well,
said outside of your family. You froze.
okay. You hear me now?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. I say, well, my family, there's nothing that I won't joke about within reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to do jokes about women and rape or something like that, because that's offensive to people.
Right.
I'm not doing those things, but there's a way to tell everything to be funny.
Yeah. 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 And like you said, it's therapeutic.
Oh, it is. I mean, and if it's thing that happened in my family, like I do, like I tell a joke that most people think is totally offensive, but it was true, partly true. So I tell it, and I'm going, hey, if I'm going to hell, y'all gonna be right there with me. So I'm telling you now, because y'all gonna laugh at this totally inappropriate joke.
And you're also a public speaker. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I talk to people about sign me to. Sign me to is Latin for without fear. That's what it means. It means without fear. So everything that you do in life, that you should do it without fear.
Right.
And my grandmother taught me that. Do everything without fear. So I have t-shirts that say teach, sign me to. I have shirts that say learn, sign me to. So I'm teaching without fear. I'm not afraid to go the extra mile for my students. My students are learning, sign me to, meaning they're learning without fear. They're not afraid to ask questions. They're not afraid to take that chance.
Right.
Whether we're coaching football, I coach football. My players are playing, sign me to. They're not willing. They're not afraid to do that next step. Because I tell them all the time, it's okay to be nervous. It's never okay to be scared, because being scared prevents you from doing it. Nervousness prevents you for a moment. And so I go around, and when I speak, I do speeches about people stepping out of their comfort zone of assignment 2. You know, so that's the basis. And I put them on the spot with improv. So we always have a good time. And people are amazed at how much they can learn just by laughter.
Yeah. You know, it takes the edge off.
It takes it's the critical thinking that you realize you do when you're laughing. Just think about how every comedian you like that's funny, they made a subject seem so simple to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, you go, man, that is, he said, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, it's always some simple subject. You go, man, I could do that, because they are crafty with it. And they make you think deeper a lot of times than some basic stuff.
Right. So let's talk about, I'm going to put you full screen just for a second, but let's talk about you being a football coach. How's that journey?
Oh, that's been a great journey. My most memorable football moment, I'm going to tell you this. I was coaching at a high school here in Georgia, and we were playing in the Georgia Dome. I ain't going to say what school we were playing against, but we lost in the Georgia Dome 72-0. Do you know how humbling it is to lose a football game 72-0? That with your team, when you got into the red zone, they scored on defense twice.
72-0.
72-0
In the Georgia
Dome. On TV. Hey man, I was like, and we had to get her back. Let's watch film. Why the hell we watching film? We ain't gotta watch this film. We saw it. We were there. 72-0. Like they didn't they let the band come on the field and play, and they were scoring on us.
What was the team you all were playing?
No, I'm not gonna tell you that either, because I tell you, the team was a good team. The team had no business playing us. Okay. They had no business. It was like in the longest yard when you had all them ex-cons in there. Yeah, like I think that team had like 5 D1 players that flunked out of college and came back to high school and played for them. You know, so that's what it was. Like they were like, I think Deion Sanders came out of retirement and he had 2 years left eligible in high school, and he came and played for us. You know what I'm saying? So we had they're like some of them kids, I believe they might have failed like 3 grades.
Oh wow. Like
some of them had to be like 22 in high school, and they were able to play.
72-0.
72-0.
Wow.
And I was like, hey man, one boy like, think I'm gonna go to college, not playing football. And what made it so bad though was the band. I love our band, but our band was horrible. Our band, the song they kept playing was Nothing from Nothing Leaves Nothing.
No. The old
they kept, you know how hard it is to play that damn song. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. See, I'm telling you now, if I see them people right now, if I see that band right now, I'm gonna punch him in the throat right now. Like this day, I'll punch him dead in the throat.
So how's your team now? Are they better?
Yeah, I'm at a whole different school now.
Okay.
Praise Jesus. I realized that high school ball went for me. I'm gonna go down to middle school, where the kids ain't that big and you can't hold them back that many years.
Right.
So yeah, but it's a joy watching kids grow and develop at the middle school level. You know, funny thing is they in 7th grade, I'm gonna go pro. No, you slow. I'm 50 years old and I cannot run you. Ain't no way in the world you going pro. The only pro you gonna go is on all Madden. Right there. You're gonna go pro on all Madden. That's it. You ain't finna make the team. Nope. So I'm gonna be a receiver and you 4'7". That ain't finna work. That ain't finna work.
He wanna be a receiver.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a starter. No, you 4'7", and your daddy 4'9". So genetics alone, they say you ain't finna go pro. Not in football. Oh man, you listen, when you got to create a player on a video game and your player is 6'5", you can't create no player that's 4'7" and be an All-American on Madden on the football game. You can't do it in a basketball league. You can't do it. It ain't finna work.
You know what, Cornelius, that's why education is so important, right? And I understand that a lot of these kids aspire to be athletes, but it's like the odds are like 1 in whatever, right? So you have to have your education to fall back on. And
Yeah.
the reason that I know that that's true is because on the off season with some of the NFL players, they go back to school because they want to finish that education. They want that education because they know that any day something could happen and that career is over. Then what are you going to do? Right. So that's where your education is important and you can fall back on that.
See, but nowadays athletes are so much smarter.
Yeah.
Because they've had wisdom. When we were coming up, I remember being in high school, getting ready to go to college, and the whole rule about Prop 48 came out. Because, like, if you didn't have the grades, you had to sit out a year to get your eligibility to play football. And I remember why it became in existence. It was because of Dexter Manley. I remember Dexter Manley, great NFL player, had a bad drug problem. He got on TV and told everybody about the college and high school teachers how they were terrible people because he can't read. I remember that. I remember watching on TV like they and I can't read, and everybody like, oh, we finna fix this shit here because you can't read, and you ain't finna blame us no more because you can't read. So all your athletes.
So they were advancing him.
Yeah, Dexter, man. Can you remember? This is back in the late '80s and before. Like they weren't caring if you were smart. You may give me a perfect example of non-smart athlete.
Who?
Herschel Walker. Come on now. We heard Herschel Walker sit there and say, I want to be, he tried to break down the difference between a vampire and a werewolf. Listen, you cannot tell me Herschel Walker was not in the classroom in the back of the building. You know, because back when we were growing up, see, they had the special ed classes in the back of the building. They weren't in the main building. They was in the we didn't they was in their own wing back there. They had their own wing away from everybody. They weren't integrated like now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you can't tell me you can't that was wrong then. They should have integrated because they were people, because a lot of them were not special ed like they said they were. But Herschel Walker is prime example of why that was in that time period. Herschel Walker told everybody, I graduated the top of Georgia.
He said the top 10.
Yeah, listen, and we all know, like, you dropped out of college in your junior year to go pro.
He didn't finish.
Like, what the? Come on, like, Herschel, you saying stuff that we can Google.
Right.
Like, Google. Like if you'd have said that in 1982, we might have believed you.
Before the internet.
Yeah, Herschel talking about, I'll valedictorian in my school. Where? He was, and I researched it, Herschel Walker was valedictorian because he was in a class of 1. He's in the class of 1. So, of course, you valedictorian, you're the class of 1.
Oh, my goodness. Who are we to stop him from believing? Because, it's one thing when you try to fool everybody else, but Cornelius, it's another thing when you fool yourself and you believe that stuff. You really believe it.
Hey, when you try to fool yourself, listen, if Herschel Walker was on the street and talking that noise, we would just walk away. Like, I don't want to be by him because you feel like it's contagious. You like I don't even want to be by you because everything you're talking about don't make any sense.
No.
I almost voted for Herschel Walker. I really did, if I'm honest.
Are you serious? Why?
I almost voted for him. Because as you know, I'm a special education teacher. And I felt compassion because I realized that Black people had Barack Obama to look up to. The Asians and Jamaicans had Vice President Harris to look up to. The Hispanics had the Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor to look up to. And I realized that my special education students didn't have nobody. So I was like, They need somebody to be proud of too. Now, we got all these other people and all these other ethnic groups to be proud of, and they don't have nobody. And I'm like, I need to do my duty to put him in office so my students could come to school and be proud that they could be anything too.
We didn't need him. I'm sorry. We didn't need him. I get your rationale. He was not.
I was not gonna vote for Herschel Walker. I'm telling y'all now, I wasn't gonna vote for him. So please don't beat me up. Don't beat me up. I was not gonna vote for Herschel Walker.
Yeah, when he talked about the vampire thing, I had to replay that a couple of times. I kept saying, I know he didn't just say this. Yeah.
I know. It was baffling. You're like, wait a minute, bruh. You trying to win an election with vampires and werewolves? like first you say women don't need to have reproductive rights or control of their body because I believe in werewolves and vampires. I'm like, come on, man. I mean, you can't expect critical thinkers to go for that, and that's the problem. And whoever put him out front, like, don't think black people don't read and pay attention to what the issues are. Well, y'all go vote for Kai Black? No, we're not. Some
don't.
Hey, but you know, we don't vote for you just because of your race. We don't. We say we do, but we don't. We pay attention. Cause like, no, he make us look real bad.
Yeah, that you know, you were talking about comedy and being therapeutic. I mean, you had to laugh at that stuff. I mean, I just and again, it is one thing to try to fool me, but when you believe in your own craziness, it is. I just you can't do nothing but laugh and shake your head. And really, it's not funny. But what else can you do? Because you know he's nothing but a puppet, and everybody can see that. But you know, I'm like, but this is the thing, though, Cornelius. You have so many other Republicans that were educated, smart, articulate, that could have ran. And the fact that you chose somebody like that, to me, is an insult. Because you have a lot of Republicans that could have ran and made their point. And, you know, I mean, even though you're a Republican, you still represent our race. But the fact that that's who you picked, that was crazy.
That just goes to show you, if you, like you said, it's an insult that you don't value people of other races. Because if that is your representative, if that's what you think of us.
Right.
Like, that's what you think of us. Like really, that was an insult because you think so little of us that we will fall for that. Oh, he can run a ball. We don't care that he can run a ball 30, 40 years ago. We can put it in perspective because you put it in perspective, but you're like, no, we know we're going to vote for them. We just need them to too because they're foolish enough to do it because we know we can control them.
Right.
And that's the insult. And that's what we got to pay attention to. Like, wait a minute. What are you trying to do? I mean, we make jokes about all that, but what are you doing? And I'm more mad at Herschel Walker. They're like, why would you allow yourself to be a puppet? You're a grown man, a businessman. You've been successful. You've done some amazing things. You come from a small town. You've done some amazing things. Why would you allow yourself to be a puppet like that?
Well, if you're going to ask him that, you can also ask Ben Carson. Because, you know, Ben Carson runs, and then he talks about Ben's family. He talked about Ted Cruz's wife. And then they drop out the race. And then now he's on his team. And, you know, it's always the whiffle, Cornelius. What's in it for me? Or Trump knew where the bodies were buried.
Yeah.
You know,
hey, Ben Carson had the book. I read the book Gifted Hands.
Gifted Hands, yeah. I saw the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the movie, read the book, Gifted Hands. But we forgot about part about dumb mind. Like he was smart. Like my grandma would say, Ben Carson book smart, but he ain't got common wit. He ain't got mother wit. He ain't got none of that. He ain't got common sense, mother wit, daddy wit. He ain't got none of big, like, did you just think this? Like, wait a minute. All skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Yeah. And then you have reached all these pinnacles in your surgical career, and he pushed you over urban housing and development. You didn't get Surgeon General. I didn't understand that either. So that was another, to me, slight to say, this is what I think about y'all.
Yeah, and that's what it was. Like, wait a minute. The only one that I had respect for, and I think most of us have respect for this politician, was Colin Powell.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what his political party was, you respected him because he stood on his word and he said what he meant and he meant what he said. And he wasn't going to allow anybody to misuse him like that. Because they wanted him to run for president. He like, no, I don't want to run for president. Y'all ain't finna kill me being the first black president.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember what he said. I said, so it doesn't matter about your political party because you can still represent your people. Right. We don't all think alike.
That's
so
true.
We all have some of the same goals. We went through the same struggles. And when you see Herschel Walker and Ben Carson, like, why do you want us to still be puppets?
Right.
Like, stand on your own. Stand on your own merit. I want to see the Republican that can be on their own merit. And like, hey, I might vote for you. I might not because our ideas don't align. But at least be articulate.
Right. Exactly. But again, like you said, that just shows you how he thought about us. Because I was like, this is who you choose. Out of all these educated, articulate Republicans, this is who you choose.
This is who you choose.
Well,
you go to the back of the short bus to find somebody to represent. No, don't do that to us.
No. Well, we're gonna shift because you have a event coming up on Friday. So let's tell everybody about the event coming up this Friday.
Hey, this Friday is going to go down at 10:30 at Uptown Comedy Corner. It's Steve Brown's a host representing Omega Psi Phi. You have Big Kenny representing Omega Psi Phi. And you have Kelly Kell representing Delta Sigma Theta. And myself representing Phi Beta Sigma. It's going to be one of the funniest Greek comedy shows going down at 10:30. Make sure you get there at 10:30 or before 10:30 so you can see this laughter. Because it's me going against all the Qs and the Deltas. I'm representing for Sigma and Zeta, the only true, bona fide, constitutionally bound brother sister organization. Rest on play. See, them play brothers and sisters over there. Them play brothers and sisters.
So there's a document.
Yeah. So you can go see the birth certificate on our stuff. They common law.
And I haven't been to the new location because I went to the one he had down the street.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to the new location. So, working out.
Oh, the new one is off of G Avenue. It's down the street from Spine Divots. Go to it. It's upstairs. It's a nice location. It's great food, drinks. You're going to have a blast in this location here. If you like the last one, you're going to love this one. This one is it. Yeah.
And this is right across the street from Spine Divots, right?
Upstairs. It's upstairs. It's down the street in the plaza. You can go up, you catch the elevator upstairs. Catch the elevator, because catch the elevator. Because if not, you got to walk a lot of steps. Not unless you're behind on your steps, then you can go walk around the block and catch the stairs. But if you don't, catch the elevator so you can get upstairs.
Okay, and that's this Friday at 10:30 at Uptown.
This Friday at 10:30. Yep, Uptown Comedy Corner.
Well, thank you, Cornelius, so much for being on tonight's show. Is there any last words you want to leave with the viewers?
And last thing I want to do is remember to always laugh your class off, whether you're in education or if you are just thinking about your socioeconomic status. Laughter is probably one of the best medicine, and learn to laugh your class off daily.
Right. Yeah.
And tune in to FUBU Radio. FUBU Radio, 8 to 10, every Monday through Friday.
And
Keith Perrin, shout out to Keith.
When are you on FUBU Radio?
We're on 8 to 10 every morning, Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday, 8 to 10. Okay.
8 to 10.
FUBU Radio.
8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Okay. FUBU Radio.
FUBU Radio.
We got to check you out, Cornelius.
Check it out. It's hilarious. Check it out.
Yep. I'm gonna try to find it myself. Well, thank you so much. You stay on. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's show. We had comedian Cornelius George with us tonight. Next Wednesday is the last part of our 14-year anniversary, and we will have comedian Lazarus with us next Wednesday. So make sure that you tune in, like and share. Let everyone know that we're on the air. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the notification bell so that you can be updated when new content becomes available. I am Tina Dawson, your host for the night, and we're going to sign off. Good night, everybody.